If you want more FIFA content from me, I'm now uploading exclusive videos to Patreon. The link for that is down below. And if you want to avoid the random lottery that is FIFA points, you can go straight to the source with u7buy.com. And of course, you can use the code TVM at checkout to get yourself a discount. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another video. So as suggested by the title and indeed the thumbnail, we are going to take a look at Nicholas Gaitan's FUT birthday card. Why? Well, partly because what else is there to do? But also, this is the worst on paper and indeed in terms of value FUT birthday card you can get. Now, of course, I know the promo is done. Many of you may have your party bag packs left. I doubt it though, because who keeps them that long? But if you are one of the really strange people who have left it, maybe you want to know what's going to happen if you pack the worst one. Maybe you've already packed him and you're thinking to yourself, well, that isn't even fodder because he's only 85 rated. He's literally worth about 18k, there or thereabouts. So what we're going to do is take a look to see if he's actually any good. So he's about 20,000 coins on console, he's about 18k on PC. So stats-wise, I mean, he doesn't look terrible. If you just forget about the fact that he's a FUT birthday card, right, and forget about his rating, let's just look at the stats from what they tell us, right? So 89 acceleration, 82 sprint speed, 87 positioning, 83 long shots, 82 shot power, 91 volleys. So instantly from those two sets of stats, pace and shooting, we can tell that he is an average card so far. Would I say that he's a striker if I didn't know any better? No, obviously. 86 short passing, 86 vision. That would suggest, oh, maybe a cam. And then, of course, he's got sort of mediocre mid-80s dribbling across the board, 90 agility with 93 jumping. He's 5'8", by the way, and he's got 93 jumping. He's only got 56 heading, and he's only got 78 aggression. I say only, 78 aggression isn't actually that bad considering his heading and jumping and all the rest of it is, and strength is actually quite low. The aggression isn't too bad, but I just don't see the point in having 93 jumping and then absolutely no ability to get to win or to accurately direct the header. You know, 56 heading is just shocking for anything. 4-star, 5-star, 5-star weak foot, which is nice. Would have been amazing if he was 5-star, 5-star. At least we could have lent on that. You know, 5-star weak foot is nice, but there are a lot of players out there with a 5-star weak foot, and I mean a lot of players. So to look at this card and to sort of try and take a positive from it, it's not easy. It really isn't that easy. Because this, I mean, he's only been boosted from an 81. I mean, he is an 81 rated base gold card. Now, he moved from the MLS back to France, of course, with Lille. He was an 81 rated non-rare. He's got an 81 rated non-rare UCL card. However, he's only gone up by overall of 4. There are cards that were released for Footmas who are better than this guy, right? So Santi Cazorla, for example, 86 rated, 5-star, 5-star. Better than Gaitan in terms of, you know, those key fundamentals right there. And a few other stats in there that Santi Cazorla will beat him for. I don't think stamina he beats him for, actually. Stamina's a big problem with both cards. Not that I'm going to directly compare him to Santi Cazorla the entire episode. But to be fair, he does work in my team. He links Correa and Gomez together. I used Ruud Gullit, as you'll see in the clips, because I had a loan with a few games left on him. And then I replaced him for my 7-game loan Kaká. So Kaká played 2 games, then Gullit played 3 or 4. So there we go. Not a bad team, to be fair, considering this is an account that I've barely played 120 games on. But let's try and take some positive from this and not necessarily talk about too much about the negative. Although I will say that there is definitely enough for us to talk about in terms of the negative, because it's just not a great card, right? I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it and tell you this is a hidden gem, because it just isn't. He is one of the most, not disappointing, but just, what's the word? Mediocre doesn't begin to explain. It's just a, you know, it's one of those cards. It's like, he's not bad, right? He's kind of usable, but at the same time, it's like, why do I care? Let's go and use someone else who's got, you know, good ability in one area or another. I gave him a Maestro Chem style. You'd have seen it at the beginning. It does actually turn him into a 90 rated or 91 rated cam. 90 rated centre forward and winger. I did use him as a cam. I didn't change his position once. He was there from start to finish. like I said, he's not bad. He's able to string a pass together, and he does make some decent runs. His positioning is actually quite good. He's got 92 positioning with the chem style. His finishing can be okay. More often than not, he does just completely gnaws it up, but it can be all right. I mean, he played in a team with some decent players, you know, Correa and Alejandro Gomez are good players, but they're not sort of top tier players. You know, Correa is, okay, I would say definitely a class 2 player, but can be considered for maybe a high rated class 3. Alejandro Gomez, I haven't actually done a video on him, and I will do, because there's a lot to be said about that card. I mean, for instance, right, Gaitan should have scored there, danced around the defenders beautifully, and then just didn't put it in, taken down for a foul there. I was fouled a lot with him, actually, noticeably more with him than anybody else. I'm not sure why. His ball control and dribbling are very good, especially with chem styles. They boost him up into the low 90s, mid 90s for some. But apart from having really close ball control and being able to use that sort of L1 or LB, not dribble, but yeah, I suppose it is, isn't it? It's like close ball control, close dribble, whatever I can't remember what they actually called it. But apart from having that in his locker, his finishing, as I say, is very inconsistent. His free kicks can be okay. It just doesn't generate the power that you really need to be scoring some really nice free kicks. This was probably his best goal, to be fair. At this point, though, my opponent had given up completely and was just trying to take me out. So I'm going to take that with a pinch of salt. Just an example of the teams we were coming up against. I mean, they weren't crazy good teams, but some of them had, you know, the meta cards like Mbappe and so on. I think someone brought Neymar off the bench at one point. Played a good ball, to be fair, but unfortunately, the player in question was offside. I think it was Correa. I think the last game was his best game. That's an example of a long-range shot. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like I said, you know, it would be easy for me to have just put in the best parts of the player review and then to basically just give you some waffle as to how good this guy is. But, you know, the whole point of the video is he actually as bad as everybody thinks he is? You know, is it? That's a good goal. But is it a case of this guy is 20,000 coins because he's trash? Or is it a case of this guy's 20k because he's the lowest rated FUT birthday card? People are packing him left, right and centre in their party bags, or maybe they were getting him in their player picks or whatever it was. And people just thought, well, nah, this guy's not going to be any good compared to the other ones. I'm not interested. That was the whole point of it, right? And the conclusion, well, semi-conclusion I should say, is that this guy is just as good as you'd expect him to be by looking at the stats. You know, mid-80s, kind of low 90s in some. You know, he's all right, but he's not great in any particular area. If we go into the overall, I've put him in a class 3 because I firmly believe he is in that top 50%, but it would be harsh for me to say class 4. Class 4 is literally reserved for the trash. I very rarely put a card in class 4. In fact, I'm not even sure I have done this year. I wouldn't be against doing it. You know, I'm not afraid to do it, but I definitely think Gaitan is better than that. Is he meta? Yes, I've got to say, I think he is. I mean, it's not like there are degrees of meta, you know. Meta for me is, does he fit the meta of the game? So obviously the meta of this game is high dribbling, high agility and pace with basically mobility, right? That's what you need in your players. That's meta. Now, he has a lean body type and he's 5'8" with a 5-star weak foot. So instantly ticks those boxes. He has he has very high agility actually with 90, but because he's so lean and he's short, he will feel even quicker. He's got 89 acceleration, which is a good thing to have as well. And of course, he has, well, naturally 86 dribbling and ball control, 84 ball control, but with a chem style, does boost it up a little bit. And he does feel very, very fluid, very mobile. So yes, he is meta. Now, when I talk about FUT Champs and I say placeholder, what I mean by that is you can put him in rivals and like I did, you know, use him to get chemistry and probably play with him for a good 45 minutes and not really feel like, right, this guy needs to come off. But the stamina is the biggest issue for this card. I've not mentioned it a lot, but it just goes without saying, as a cam, you need mid-80s minimum, bare minimum. And this guy has mid-70s. He just doesn't last the full 90. So you'll need to take him off. By placeholder, I mean, of course, pop him in there for chem. You can definitely get away with using him for the first 10, 20 minutes, maybe even the first half, and then bring in that big player that you've got on the bench. Maybe it is a Neymar or, I don't know, winter refresh Bruno Fernandes or anything, you know, just bring him on instead of him. So he can be used, definitely, but not someone I would want to use in a competitive sense. Just a very disappointing, almost pointless card. Why they couldn't make this an 87, 88 rated card, I'll never know, but it is what it is. If you have used him, let me know what you think of him in the comment section down below. If you have enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Let's get subscribed, people. Over half the people who watch this video aren't subscribed. So if we could do that and we could maybe get to 100k this year, that would be absolutely sensational. And until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.